I love the rain. I love when rain hits the roof, when you're in a car, when you're like sleeping and it's like raining, you get that nice, oh, it's just like a relaxing freaking sound, man, and it puts me in a vibe. But welcome everyone to another episode of the Robert Verdugo podcast, episode 19, very, very close to the 20. I didn't upload last week just because honestly, I was lazy. Literally epitome of lazy, and thought, all right, doesn't matter. Tuesday coming, boom, we'll smash it. And we are. Recording number 19. And today is going to be a bit of a different look at things. It's going to be a bit of a different, I've never done this before. So if you do like this specific type of podcast, let me know, because I might be doing this like a once a month or every so often podcast. I'll throw this in because I really like reading stuff like this. So today's podcast is going to be based on a subreddit. If you guys aren't on Reddit, jump on it because it is a beautiful platform. There are a bunch of, stuff that you shouldn't really read, but then there is some where you can take a bit of information in, and a lot of it is to do with people's advice. Now, there is a certain subreddit, and it's called Relationship Advice. So basically, this whole subreddit is people posting a thread on a certain situation that they're in, and they need advice from just regular human beings, or there's, it could be people that have a degree in psychology, whatever it is, could be therapists, whatever. But the average person will be on there and they'll want to seek advice about a certain situation that they're in with their partner or significant other or family members, because there are certain stories where the family's involved and it's a bit of a fuck around. I'll be very honest with you, because the amount of stories that I read, I'm in shock. And I know for a fact that if I read this to you guys, you're going to be just as in shock as I was when I first read this. So the first story, we're going to have two stories on today. If I can swipe my phone, that'd be nice. But jump on it. Jump on Reddit if you can, if you're into that, and jump on relationship_advice. It is really great. But this story, right, comes from, obviously they're all anonymous. But the title of this story is "Boyfriend Keeps Trying to, in quote, upgrade or improve me by calling me chubby." The story already, okay, you have no idea where this is going to go, but I'll read it. And this is the thing, I'll give my thoughts at the end and my, opinion on it and the advice that I would give coming from a male perspective. Because obviously this is going to be a female of this story, but I could try to gauge between both parties, male and also from a female's perspective, but this is how it goes. I've been dating my boyfriend for a year. The boyfriend is 27 years old and she is 23. And this is the girlfriend telling this story, by the way. I am 5'4" and 125 pounds. Average, not even fucking fat, not even chubby, come on. He pursued me. Slowly, he keeps making more and more negative comments about my appearance. He made me a workout and eating plan and constantly asks if I follow it. He basically wants me to go vegan. Honestly, I'm not into the vegan lifestyle and I don't eat horrible. When we ordered in yesterday, I got baked ziti. I don't really know what that is. He looked at me and said, "How could I be ordering this when we both agreed that I need to lose weight?" Oh, this guy sounds like a prick. Every time I try to dump him over this, he tells me I don't understand where he is coming from. He told me I'm average and that he wants me to stand out. That I'd noticed I have low self-esteem and he's trying to make me confident and be happy with myself. Every day he asks me if I did my workouts. He will send me photos of other girls and say if I follow what he says, I will look like that. He really pursued me, and now I feel like he's killing my self-esteem. Why pursue someone so hard if you aren't that attracted to them? He told me if I lose 15 pounds, I'd be perfect. He sends me pictures of women who have post-pregnancy bodies or not good bodies at all and tells me that they are like me, that they are chubby and not curvy. Or he will send me pictures of girls I don't consider pretty and say if I listen to him, I will look like that. I just need to lose the weight. I tell him that I'm thinner than those girls and he tells me that he has better eyes. Honestly, at this point, I don't even want to break up because I feel like no one will find me attractive. I feel like I want his approval. I've been wearing baggy clothes because I'm so ashamed of my body. I used to like my body, but now I'm ashamed. Why is he dating me if I'm so unattractive? How do I gain my self-esteem back? Oh my God. Oh, when I read this story, man, I was like, what a fucking prick. Like this, okay. I try to see it from both sides of the story, okay? From a male's perspective, the way he's gone about this, the way he's acted about this whole situation and to his girlfriend is so beyond like borderline psychotic, but he seems very narcissistic and everything is about him, and he knows that he wants to put this idea in his girlfriend's head of like, to him, yeah, she's hot, but I don't want her to be, so no one else will have her because she's all mine. And look, that is fucking dumb. That is the dumbest thing that anyone could do. Because mind you, this could come from a female's perspective or a male's perspective too. It can go both ways. You could be a guy, and that's not to say I'm, just say, nah, it could happen to both, because in this situation, it's obviously her. But, it could go both ways. But in this situation right now, the girlfriend, right? They've been going out for a year. They're at that age though, because they're 27 and 23. When you hit this certain age, I've realized when I read a few comments is that if you date someone when you're in your mid-20s, right? If you date them for 3 years, you feel a lot more in those 3 years than when you date in high school. For instance, like if you date someone for 5-6 years, right, when you're in high school and you're at that young age, it is completely different to dating someone when you're in your mid-20s for like a year, because the relationship is so much stronger, you're a lot more mature, you know about each other, but you're so more in tune with one another, if that makes sense, from a mature aspect. But with regard to this story though, this guy is trying to plant this seed of negative self-esteem and worthlessness on this girl. And that's fucked. Like, honestly, if I was to give my advice, I know it's easier said than done, because she's already stated that she doesn't want to break up with him because she feels like she can't get anyone else. That's the idea that he's planted in her head, so she will never ever leave. And I feel like there's this thing with like certain guys like this, pricks like this guy, where they'll have a girlfriend and they're, he'll think that she's average, which isn't the case. Like if you're with someone, you think that they're perfect. Obviously everyone has flaws, but in terms of attractiveness and like I'm a bit rambling, but if you're with someone, you think they're amazing, they're perfect, it's whatever, you love them for who they are. That's it. You don't need to seek, like, you don't need to plant this idea of, nah, you're shit compared to all these other women, you could look like this girl. That's like borderline. That's not borderline. That is pure manipulation. It's more like I could even say he doesn't really feel empathy, because he doesn't care how she feels. He doesn't give a fuck about what she feels about her own self-esteem. He doesn't care. The only thing he cares about is her becoming the fucking 10 out of 10, which she already should be in his mind because they're together. End of story. Like, yeah, if you're in a relationship or whatever, and you see other women, or you see like a celebrity, whatever, and you say, oh, they're so hot, don't you think? They're like, yeah, that's fine, that's whatever. But when it comes to, body shaming and putting your partner's self-esteem down because you're showing other photos of other girls, oh my fucking God, that is like the biggest fucking red flag on earth. If you're a guy and you're listening to this, you don't ever show a photo of another girl to your woman and say you could look like that. That is like, it's so fucked. And one of the top comments was like, show him, like, instead of him showing you girls, why don't you show him a photo of Gerald Butler, I think his name is, from the 300. Show him his body and say, if you don't look like that by tomorrow, I'm going to dump you. Because it's impossible. That's so fucking dumb. And if you show Like all these Instagram models and everything, people don't realize that that shit isn't what it's looked like in real life. That's not what it looks like. A lot of the time, most, if not every single time, that shit's photoshopped. They've also done work to their body, like Botox and fillers and all that stuff. And that's not to say there's anything wrong with that. Like if you want to do it, that's fine. But don't give the woman an unrealistic goal of, you know, trying to look like that when you should be happy with how she is anyway. Like, it blows my mind that this guy is able to almost get away with stuff like this, to say, hey, you know, these post-pregnancy bodies look like shit and that's what you look like now. Here are some females that are fucking 10 out of 10. You should look like that. So you should be eating. You should be doing this. You should be working out. You shouldn't be ordering that. Blah, 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 blah. That is just like that's adding fuel to the fire in this girl's, not fuel to the fire, but it's just putting her down every single time you mention all this stuff. Like, hey, are you following my meal plan? Did you even work out today? Like, maybe she didn't fucking want to work out today. If I got told, hey, did you work out today? You know, you should be losing weight. Motherfucker, man, sometimes I want to fucking work out. Like, I can't be fucked. Like, why do I have to follow your advice when I'm happy with how I am? And she was happy with how she was. She thought she was fine. But this motherfucker goes and says, yeah, you're a bit chubs, but you're 5'4", 125. That's like 50s. That's like 60 kilos. Like, fuck me. That's fine. Like, it actually, I'm getting triggered by this prick. Like, because I can't see, I cannot see myself being like that. And that's what blows my mind, because I don't understand how someone could be like that. Because, okay, here is the scenario which should have been done properly, okay? Let's say, okay, because this, it's not to put her down, this is how it should have been, blah, 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 but if it was this case, and maybe she was feeling a bit, like, this is the thing, okay? If she said to him, I'm not happy with my body, I feel like I'm fat. For starters, you say, no, babe, you're not. Relax, it's fucking fine, I love you for who you are. Boom, happy days. But if you want to help, all you have to say is this. But if you're not happy with how you are, I can help you. Do you want me to come to the gym with you? Do you want to get a membership together? Maybe we can start going to gym together. Don't fucking force all this shit down her throat, man. Don't go, all right, I'm signing you up tomorrow. I'm putting you on a meal plan. I'm putting you on a fucking workout plan. You're going to do all this. You're not going to eat carbs, blah, 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 blah. You don't do that. No. If you're female, if your significant other says to you, like, I'm not happy with myself, I want to start doing something about it. That is like the perfect segue to, be like, okay, I'm happy with how you are. I love you for who you are. But if you want to change something about that, okay, I can help you. We can start gym together. Or do you want to start, not eating out so much? Do you want to eat in or make our own meals? Blah, 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 blah. And sorry if my voice is a little bit shaky, because I am freezing in this car right now. But I'm sure you listening to this, you understand where I'm coming from. Because if your partner says to you, I want to change, I'm not happy with myself, cool. Okay, I love you, that's fine. But if you want, I can help you out. Is there any workout plans that you might consider? And obviously you put your input into it as well. You say, it might not be right for you. How about check this out? Don't force stuff. Just give suggestions. That's all you need to do. And if she says, look, I'll take it on board, cool, leave it. That's fine. And then in a week or 2 weeks time, hey, how's things been going? Blah, blah, blah. Guys got to understand where I'm coming from, man. Like, for starters, it's already a red flag that he's putting you down by calling you chubs. Like, fuck me, man. You don't say that shit. It blows my mind that you can say to your significant other, oh, you're looking a bit fat. Like, fuck me, man. She probably heard that from someone, but she doesn't want to hear it from you. Like, Jesus Christ, because I could hear it from, I could read a YouTube comment from so long ago and say, bro, you look so fat in those clothes. Which, by the way, eat my dick, because I don't give a shit. But if I heard that from my partner, I'd be like, what the fuck? That's like a knife to the heart, honestly. That is like pure destruction of self-esteem. And that's his goal. This guy's goal is to put her so far down, so beneath the fucking grave that she can't go anywhere to like... Maybe this is his plan. Maybe she goes out a lot and he's like, nah, I don't want to go out anymore. Let's fucking do this plan so she doesn't go out and she always stays with me. Because he's so narcissistic and thinks he's a fucking top cunt. Sorry for the C word. But you get what I'm coming from. This guy's ideology is, look, let's put her down so she won't ever have anyone in her life apart from me because I'm the best. Because I don't know, I haven't seen the updated version of this yet. But I'm going to assume that she has broken up with him because that is the first thing you do. But this, I feel like if it hits that point, he's the type of guy to just go to a house and be like, nah. We're not breaking up, fam. Nah. You're fucking fat. You're not breaking up with me. You're going to lose weight. That's literally his ideology would be. And that is beyond, like, it blows my mind. It really does. So, my piece of advice for this certain scenario would just have to be, look, tell him, get fucked. Get fucked, you prick. That's all she needs to do. And I know it's a lot harder said than done. Because towards the end, she does say, I don't want to break up because I feel like no one will find me attractive. Like, okay. First things first, we'll highly suggest for her to go see a therapist. Explain the whole situation to the therapist and say, hey, this is what's been happening. Like, boyfriend's putting me down like this. He's saying all these disgusting things, saying I'm worthless. And that's like the point of depression where you think you're just worthless and you don't have a single ounce of worth of yourself. And that's what he's done to her. And that is just so destructing and massive red flags. But moving on, you have to break up with him and move on. And it's a lot harder. It obviously doesn't happen overnight. No way in hell. You know, he made her get to this point where she can only wear baggy clothes so she doesn't show off her body. Like, look, I get it. There's some guys out there where if you're out in public and your girl's wearing a really fucking sexy dress and she's showing some ass and some titties and you're like, man, she looks fucking good. But then that's like from a guy's point of view. But then at the same time, the guy's thinking, this motherfucker's looking at my girl like that. You know, I don't want no one looking at my girl like the way I look at her. Because this is more of it's more of a defense thing for us guys. And this is, you know, for a female listening to this, I'm sure you'll get an insight of what it's like from a guy's point of view. But like, if your partner wears just something extremely fucking sexy and you're like, oh my days, you look so good. And you're out and it's like, yeah, these motherfuckers looking at my girl. Like, don't fucking look at her. Like, don't. And it's like, it's a lot to do with like jealousy and, you know, she's all mine. That's all she came with. But look, if you're in a relationship, you're in it for a reason. You know that she's all yours. You know that you're all hers. Like, that's it. She wants to wear something sexy because she feels good about herself and she knows that she's good. Fucking tell her. Tell her and leave it. Don't say, oh, fucking these guys looking at you, man. Shut up. Just shut the fuck up. You guys let me know your thoughts. If you're watching this on the YouTube, comment down below. If you're on Spotify or whatever, just, you know, give this a like if you can. If you can even like this. But, you know, I'm assuming from your perspective, whoever's listening to this, you can understand my point of view of, it's gone way out of hands. Like, I don't know how long this guy's been doing it for, but if it's been going on for a while, it obviously makes it a lot harder for her to get out of the situation that she's in. But once again, it's a lot harder said than done. Things don't happen overnight. She just has to let it go and move on. And fuck this guy, honestly. Moving on to this next story. I just got interrupted by some fucking dude, right? His car rolls up. I'm in like this parking lot off a main road. It's a bit low key, but it's not at the same time. Honestly, it kind of looks like a spot where you come to smash, but it's a really stupid place because it's like a main road, like literally 10 meters away. But this guy rolls up, bro. And I'm the only car here. And he rolls up and parks right next to me. Like, I'm staring at this fucker right now. Like, my car's fogged up because I'm the only one here. So obviously if you're rolling up, you assume someone's smashing in this car because it's all foggy. But this guy had the audacity to park next to me. Reverse in, mind you. Reverse next to me. Park for a minute. Fuck off around the corner. Park again. Thought, nah, this is a shit spot. reversed again. So when I finish this pod, I'm going to fucking park right next to him. I'm not even, actually, you know what? I'm going to put my fucking high beams on and just sus and just stare at him with my high beams on, because fuck him. Because this guy, I guarantee this guy is the epitome of the guy you just heard in this story. I guarantee if this dude had a missus, he's doing the exact same shit, because there's pricks out there, bro. But anyways, we're going to continue with this next story, which is a lot more, it's actually on a different subreddit, and I actually didn't realize, but this comes from the sex Reddit. Because I read it, I was like, this is actually decent because it's not fully R18, if that makes sense. So just keep that in mind when you're listening to this. The title is Overheard Girlfriend Making Hurtful Comments About Our Sex Life. Me and my girlfriend live together in a 1-bedroom apartment. They're both 20 years old. We've been together for 3 years. She was video chatting her friends in the living room late at night while I was asleep. She wears earbuds when she video chats, so she's louder than she realizes. I could hear my girlfriend say some really hurtful things about me, and I'll list them. And this is where the R18 comes into play, so just let you know. My pubes are overgrown and gross. I'm terrible at going down on her. She wishes my dick was bigger. My sense of fashion sucks, and my voice is too high and a turn-off. She has never voiced any of these concerns to me. I thought she was attracted to me and enjoyed having sex with me. The only things I've said to my friends about us is how great she is in bed and she has an amazing body. When she went to bed, I pretended to be asleep, but then she tried to wake me up and have sex with me. That's the weird part. Like, what the fuck? I was so confused and really sad still, so I turned her down saying I was tired. I turned around, and this is the embarrassing part. I tried really hard not to cry, but I did. I couldn't stop myself. I never cried in front of her before this. She could hear me despite me trying to keep it quiet. She asked me if something was wrong, but I said I just need some space and went to the living room. When she came out to talk to me, I just told her I have to be alone and I'll talk to her later. I'm posting this because I have no idea what to say to her when she wakes up. I feel really hurt. Was she just talking shit for fun in front of her friends? Was it the alcohol? Maybe she was attracted to me because she has an Maybe she's attracted to me because she initiated a few hours after. I'm also still really embarrassed about crying. What do I say to her? What could she say that would make this okay? So, for starters, they are quite young. Very young. You know, they got together at 17, they're 20, and they live together. That's another, like, ooh. Like, are you sure about this? Because 20 years old, living together, been together for like 3 years, but once again, like, you develop more of a connection with someone at a shorter period of time if you're a lot older. I mentioned this at the start. So, obviously the girlfriend, because they're both immature, obviously the brain doesn't mature and doesn't fully develop until you're 25. So they've got years and years of growth and development. So obviously they're both going to do some immature shit. And in her case, she's talking smack in front of her friends. Now, if you were the girl, you could kind of see this as, like, this is the only reason that I could mainly get out, reason why I should be doing this in the first place. And that would be due to her friends are talking smack about their partners. And she's like, I need to get in because I feel like I have a big sense of FOMO because I don't want them to see me as I have the perfect boyfriend. Like, fuck all you guys. So let's talk shit about him. And that's obviously the immature aspect and the underdeveloped brain coming into play, and saying stupid shit like that. That's not the case, man. That's disgusting. You don't say that shit. If you have a concern, or if you have something you want to speak about, you speak with your partner and fucking no one else. Like, for instance, the first one being, my pubes are overgrown and gross. Okay. If she had this concern, she didn't need to fucking embarrass this guy in front of her mates saying that shit. Come on. If it was a problem for her, all she had to say to him was, hey, like, everything's fucking amazing, but, you know, is there any chance you could, trim down there or clean up? Because I would really appreciate it. Boom. Happy days. Woo! Fucking no drama. But there's other things in here which really irritate me and would really, really piss me off. because there's some things that guys can't change. Okay, there are concerns that he's listed that are changeable. Okay, my sense of fashion sucks. Well, all right, I get it. Obviously, once again, don't talk smack. Like, if you have a concern, just bring it up with him. Like, even the situation, if his fashion sense sucks and she wanted to do something about it, all she had to do was, instead of talking shit to her mates, all she had to say was, hey, do you want to go like shopping center? Let's go and look for something. Like, let's do a challenge where we can dress each other up. And if his fashion does suck, and he's going to dress you up in something shit, obviously. But don't just ignore that and dress up in something really nice and say, that looks really good on you. You should start wearing that more often. Happy days. You're starting to change your sense of style a little bit. And this is where like the partner, this is where like the influence of a partner can change the way that you dress. Obviously, that's like a big thing. And that's probably another podcast that would be good to have, especially from like someone else's point of view, and, changing someone's fashion, not for like, because you want to mold them into something, but, the influence of someone that you're with can change the way that you dress. It's just natural. The pubes thing, self-explanatory, but the fashion thing, once again, I've just said it. But there are two things on here which are bad, because you can't change this, and this honestly can destroy a man. It really can, because no one talks about this, okay? Yeah, no one does talk about this, and that's fucked. But if you hear from your partner, right? If you hear like, I wish he's... if I heard this, I'd fucking lose my shit. But if, she said like, oh, I wish his dick was bigger. Dude, oh God. Alright, if you're this guy, right, and you heard that, you fucking yeets it. You yeet so fucking hard to the next atmosphere, bro. Because you don't need that, okay? You don't need that. Because this is the thing. If you hear that from your partner, like, this is already something that plays on most men's minds is, am I big enough for my partner? Is like, this went from normal to fucking R-rated, bro. But you get what I'm trying to say, okay? Most guys would think, yo, like, am I even big enough for her? Fucking hell, this is so weird to say, but sure. But you get what I mean. And this plays on most men's minds. And if you hear something like that, it could destroy a male's self-esteem. The guy could hear that and be like, pfft. The guy, honestly, I'm not trying to compare both situations from the previous story, but if a guy heard that, he could end up like the first female and think, I'm not good enough for anyone. Like, I'm not going to be able to touch another female in my life because I'm not fucking good enough. And this is where, once again, the destruction of self-esteem comes into play, where you shouldn't say something like this to begin with. And this is something that a guy can't change. Like, the fashion thing, you can change that. That's fine. But if you've got to body shame someone because that's just who they are, I'm sorry, but you're a cunt. You're a fucking prick if you say something like that and you body shame your partner, mind you. Your partner who, you're in a relationship for a reason. You want to be dedicated to each other. You're not in it for fucking laughs. You're in it because you can see each other having a future together. You see each other growing up because that's what the relationship is for. You're there for them, they're there for you. But if you body shame them and you're saying something that they can't physically change, man, get the fuck out of there, honestly. If this guy, my piece of advice from listening to that is, one, if it was my point of view, I would want to know why she said stuff like that and then fuck off. Because I don't want to fuck off and the next thing you know, it plays my mind like, why did she even say that stuff in the first place? I'm a little bit concerned. Like, it'll be playing my mind because I would want to know everything. I would want to know why she said that shit. So if it was me in that case, if I was this guy, I was 20, mind you, they're still young. Like, he's got his whole life ahead of him. Fuck this bitch. Just yeet it. Maybe a little bit different scenario if you're a little bit older, but still the same thing. It's a red flag and you got to dip. But obviously, maybe I definitely would sleep on it, at least give it a couple days. I'd just say to her, look, just give me a couple days. I'm a bit upset over something. I will tell you in a few days. And obviously, if I was him, maybe even like move out for a couple days, go see your parents. I don't know. Or just sleep on it. Just say, hey, I just want to be alone. Leave me alone for a bit. I'm not okay. And don't forget that she's not a mind reader. She could be thinking anything. Initially, I thought she should fucking know that he's not okay after just saying mean shit about your partner. Like, she said some crap about him and then she goes to initiate something and he's not okay. Maybe she can put two and two together. But once again, she's not a mind reader, because anyone in that scenario would think, that's fine. Like, he didn't hear shit, but why did something happen? Did someone in his family die? Is he not okay? Blah, blah, blah. So once again, if you're this guy, you sleep on it. You don't get aggressive, obviously. Don't. And that's the thing. You don't yell at her. Don't do anything. You just tell her, hey, I overheard what you said the other night to your friends. And you list what she said. You say, you said this. Why? Why did you say this in the first place? And maybe her reasoning is, once again, like I said before, I needed to talk smack because everyone else was talking smack and I needed to fit in. And that's that young mindset of like still being in that young age where you have to fit in with certain groups, so you have to do what other people do. And once she gives you that reason, then you fuck off straight away. Because, man, you don't need that. You really don't. Because getting body shame like that, nah, man, that's like that. Yeah, that would really hit home. And that's for anyone, like anyone that's in the situation. If you're a boy or a girl, like, I wish there was somebody that I could talk about this with, because I would love to have a second opinion and just back and forth, just talk smack about how fucked up people can be and do shit like this. But like I said, all of them are red flags, including the body shame one, and that's not on. That is not okay. So, you guys let me know what you think, man. Honestly, because I'd love to do stuff like this, like read out certain stories. If you have a certain story that you're in, if you're in a bit of a pickle, you don't really know what to do, and you want some advice, feel free to DM me. DM me on the Robert Verdugo podcast. DM me on Verdugo Vibes, my main form of Instagram. Robert Verdugo podcast on Instagram. Give me a DM. Send me an email at f.robert.verdugo, at gmail.com, whatever. Send me a DM and we can chat, can get this story out there and get other people's opinions and views, and, because stuff like this, it's really hard to say to someone else because it's a bit awkward. Like, imagine hearing that and saying, who the fuck am I going to talk to about this? Because it's embarrassing. And that was the last thing I really wanted to say. Is one of the main key points he said was, I'm embarrassed because I was crying. Bro, don't be embarrassed to cry in front of your girl, okay? It's fine. Like, all right, it's the sense of masculinity will go down the drain, but it's not that case, man. It's really not. Because everyone's fucking human, okay? Everyone cries. I'll admit I fucking cry. I'm not going to say I cry all the time, but there's some times where I'll get super anxious, man. Or be in a certain situation, I just cry because I don't know what to do. Emotions are flooding. I'm anxious already as it is. And then boom, the fucking gates, it just starts, whoop, I go mental. And it's fine. Like, I've accepted it. If the person I'm with can't accept that, yeah, I'm a bit emotional and I do cry, then, well, see you later, because it's who I am. I'm not going to change that. Like, yeah, I can improve on it, and I have, trust me, but at the end of the day, if your partner or your significant other can't accept you for who you are, then what the fuck else are you doing, man? Honestly. So with all that being said, please, don't forget to follow me on the Robert Verdugo podcast on Instagram. Don't forget, if you're on SoundCloud, give this a like, share this with your mates, send me your fucking stories, mate, because I would love to hear them. So with all that being said, guys, take care, and I will see you on the next episode on the Robert Verdugo podcast. Take care, guys. Peace.